There is a moment that destroys more people than failure ever could. It happens quietly. Your phone lights up. A message appears. Maybe it is disrespectful. Maybe someone ignored your effort. Maybe they questioned your value, mocked your opinion, or attacked your character. In a split second, your entire nervous system ignites. Your chest tightens. Your jaw locks. Your mind begins building arguments before you even finish reading the message. At that moment, most people lose control of their lives, not because of the message itself, but because they surrender their peace to someone else's behavior. Modern society has trained people to react instantly, react to comments, react to criticism, react to disrespect. Everyone is emotionally available to the world 24 hours a day, and because of that, millions of people are mentally exhausted, spiritually weak, and emotionally manipulated without even realizing it. The Stoics understood something terrifyingly simple. The person who controls your reactions controls your life. That is why the strongest people in history were never the loudest. They were the calmest. While everyone else exploded emotionally, they remained still. While others wasted energy proving themselves, they focused on mastering themselves. Today, you are going to learn the art of becoming emotionally untouchable, not cold, not heartless, not disconnected from life, but disciplined enough that chaos can no longer own you. By the end of this video, you will understand the 8 brutal Stoic rules that transform ordinary people from emotional reactors into silent forces of power. And before we begin, make a decision. Are you going to continue allowing random people to control your emotions? Or are you finally ready to protect your peace, like your future depends on it? Because it does. If you are serious about building a powerful mind, subscribe now and join a community focused on discipline, wisdom, and self-mastery. And comment below, I control my mind. I control my energy. Now listen carefully. The first rule begins with understanding one dangerous illusion. Most people believe a fast response makes them look strong. It does not. Fast reactions usually come from wounded pride, emotional instability, and fear. When someone insults you and you instantly defend yourself, you are not displaying confidence. You are displaying emotional dependence. The manipulator wants speed. The angry person wants speed. The toxic person wants speed. Because speed bypasses wisdom. When you react immediately, you stop thinking rationally. Your survival instincts take control. Your ego grabs the steering wheel. And suddenly you are saying things you regret, wasting energy on meaningless arguments, and feeding situations that never deserved your attention in the first place. The Stoic response is different. Instead of reacting instantly, pause. That silence changes everything. When somebody tries to provoke you, breathe slowly. Look at the situation without emotion. Let the tension sit in the air. Most people are terrified of silence because silence exposes emotional weakness. But calm people weaponize silence. The pause gives your mind time to separate emotion from reality. Suddenly, you can ask yourself, does this deserve my energy? Will this matter next week? Am I solving something or simply protecting my ego? Most conflicts disappear when you stop feeding them. Remember this carefully. Not every attack deserves a defense. Not every opinion deserves a response. And not every battle deserves your presence. Powerful people do not react emotionally because they understand something weak people never learn. Self-control is the highest form of strength. The person screaming in anger looks powerful for a moment, The person who remains calm controls the entire room. Train yourself to pause before speaking. Pause before texting. Pause before defending yourself. That small gap between stimulus and response is where freedom lives. And once you master that gap, people lose the ability to manipulate your emotions. Imagine somebody walking up to you and demanding money from your wallet. You would immediately protect it. But every single day, people steal something far more valuable from you: your attention. Arguments steal it. Drama steals it. Social media steals it. Toxic people steal it. And the worst part is that most people hand it away freely. Your attention is your life force. Whatever receives your focus begins controlling your thoughts, your emotions, and eventually your destiny. If your mind constantly feeds on negativity, conflict, and emotional chaos, your life slowly becomes emotionally chaotic too. This is why Stoicism teaches ruthless mental discipline. You must become selective with your focus. Every argument costs energy. Every unnecessary explanation costs peace. Every emotional conflict drains the strength you should be investing into your goals, health, relationships, and future. Successful people understand this deeply. They do not waste emotional energy everywhere. They protect it like a rare resource. The average person spends hours emotionally reacting to things that add absolutely nothing to their lives. They replay conversations in their head. They obsess over criticism. They fight strangers online who will never matter. Meanwhile, disciplined people stay focused on building their future. Ask yourself this question constantly: what is this costing me mentally? Because every distraction has a price. Some distractions cost confidence, some cost productivity, some cost peace, and some cost years of your life. The Stoic understands that attention is a form of currency, and wise people invest it carefully. When you stop feeding drama, you become harder to control. When you stop chasing validation, you become harder to manipulate. And when your attention stays focused on your purpose, your entire life changes direction. Protect your focus. Most people lose themselves because they give their minds to everybody except themselves. One of the greatest emotional traps in life is the obsession with being understood. People desperately want others to see their intentions, appreciate their efforts, and agree with their perspective. And when that does not happen, they suffer endlessly trying to explain themselves. But here is the painful truth. Some people have already decided who they think you are, and no explanation will change their mind. You could speak perfectly. You could defend yourself flawlessly. You could prove every fact, and they still would not listen. Why? Because many people are not searching for truth. They are protecting their ego. The Stoics knew this thousands of years ago. Trying to force understanding onto closed minds is like trying to force sunlight through concrete. It wastes your energy. The moment you stop needing universal approval, your mind becomes lighter. You stop chasing people emotionally. You stop arguing endlessly. You stop exhausting yourself trying to fix everybody's perception of you. And something powerful happens. You become free. Freedom begins when your self-worth no longer depends on other people's opinions. Let people misunderstand you. Let them doubt you. Let them underestimate you. Your job is not to control their thoughts. Your job is to control your character. Strong people build quietly. Weak people constantly explain themselves. There is enormous power in allowing your actions to speak louder than your emotions. Over time, results silence arguments better than words ever can. Do not waste years of your life trying to correct every misunderstanding. Some people are committed to misunderstanding you because it protects their own insecurity. Accept it. Move forward. Protect your peace. Because the more energy you spend proving yourself to everyone else, the less energy you have left to become the person you were meant to be. When somebody attacks you emotionally, your instinct is to attack back. But Stoicism teaches a completely different perspective. People who constantly spread negativity, cruelty, manipulation, and disrespect are not operating from strength. They are operating from inner chaos. Healthy people do not enjoy destroying others. Peaceful people do not constantly create drama. Secure people do not need to belittle everyone around them. Most toxic behavior comes from unresolved pain, insecurity, fear, jealousy, or emotional emptiness. That does not excuse their behavior, but it helps you stop taking it personally. The moment you stop personalizing every attack, you regain control of your emotions. Think about it carefully. If somebody deeply confident insulted you randomly for no reason, would it truly reflect your value? Or would it reveal something broken inside them? Stoics believed that people acting irrationally are disconnected from wisdom. They are spiritually undisciplined, emotionally blind. And once you see this clearly, anger loses much of its power over you. Instead of reacting emotionally, you begin observing people calmly. You stop asking, "How dare they treat me this way?" and start asking, "What pain or weakness creates this behavior?" That shift changes everything. Because emotionally mature people do not absorb poison from wounded minds. They create distance. They set boundaries. They remain calm. Not every person deserves unlimited access to your energy. Some people drain peace from every room they enter. Some people only contact you when they need something. Some people create confusion wherever they go. You cannot heal everyone. You cannot save everyone. And you cannot carry everyone's emotional chaos. Sometimes the strongest thing you can do is quietly step back. No argument. No revenge. No dramatic announcement. Just distance. And in that distance, you protect your future. Silence terrifies emotionally unstable people. Why? Because silence gives them nothing to control. Manipulators survive on reactions. They provoke, they criticize, they disrespect. Then they wait for emotional responses, because your reaction feeds their sense of power. But when you remain calm, something strange happens. They lose balance. Most people expect predictable reactions. If they insult you, they expect anger. If they criticize you, they expect defense. If they pressure you emotionally, they expect emotional surrender. Silence interrupts the entire pattern, and suddenly the manipulator is forced to face their own behavior without emotional fuel from you. This is why silence can feel more powerful than any argument. Not weak silence, not fearful silence, controlled silence. The silence of somebody who no longer feels the need to prove themselves. When somebody disrespects you, sometimes the strongest response is simply looking at them calmly and refusing to engage emotionally. No panic, no shouting, no desperate defense, just stillness. That stillness communicates enormous strength, because calmness under pressure is rare. Anybody can remain peaceful when life is easy. Real discipline appears when you are challenged, insulted, misunderstood, or emotionally attacked. And this is where most people fail. They lose control over temporary emotions and create permanent consequences. One angry message destroys relationships. One emotional reaction ruins opportunities. One uncontrolled moment creates years of regret. Stoicism teaches emotional mastery, not emotional suppression. You still feel anger. You still feel disappointment. You still feel frustration. But instead of becoming a servant to those emotions, you become their observer. And when emotions no longer control your actions, people lose the ability to emotionally dominate you. Silence becomes your armor. Calmness becomes your weapon. Discipline becomes your identity. Many people stay emotionally trapped because they are waiting for closure from the wrong people. They wait for apologies that never come. They wait for explanations that never arrive. They wait for accountability from people incapable of taking responsibility. And while they wait, their emotional wounds stay open. The Stoic path is different. You stop waiting. You accept reality exactly as it is. Sometimes people betray you without remorse. Sometimes relationships end without answers. Sometimes people reveal who they truly are in painful ways. That reality hurts. But accepting reality heals faster than denying it. True closure is internal. It happens the moment you decide, I no longer need anything from this person to move forward. That decision restores your power. And once you stop chasing emotional closure, another lesson becomes necessary. Strategic distance. Not everyone deserves daily access to you. Modern culture pressures people to stay constantly available. Answer every text instantly. Attend every gathering. Keep every connection alive, even when it destroys your peace. But unlimited access creates emotional exhaustion. The Stoics understood the importance of selective presence. Your energy changes depending on the people around you. Some environments strengthen your discipline. Others slowly poison your mind. Pay attention to how people affect your nervous system. Who drains your energy? Who constantly brings drama? Who leaves you emotionally exhausted after every interaction? Distance is not cruelty. Distance is protection. You do not need to fight every battle publicly. Sometimes, wisdom means quietly reducing access. Speak less. Appear less. Protect your time more carefully. And notice what happens. Your mind becomes clearer. Your emotions become calmer. Your goals become sharper. Because when you remove constant emotional noise, you finally hear your own thoughts again. At the root of emotional suffering is one dangerous habit, depending on the outside world to define your value. When your self-worth depends on approval, praise, attention, or validation, your emotions become fragile. Every criticism feels devastating. Every rejection feels personal. Every negative opinion shakes your confidence. Why? Because your identity is built on unstable ground. Stoicism teaches something radically different. Build your identity internally. Know who you are without applause. Know your principles without validation. Know your value, even when nobody recognizes it. This creates emotional stability that external chaos cannot easily destroy. When your center of gravity exists inside yourself, the opinions of the world lose power over you. People may criticize you. People may misunderstand you. People may doubt you. But none of that changes your character unless you allow it to. This is the ultimate Stoic victory. Not controlling others. Controlling yourself. Not winning arguments. Winning mastery over your own mind. Most people spend their entire lives emotionally reacting to everything around them. They are constantly distracted, offended, exhausted, and manipulated. But you do not have to live that way anymore. You can become calm in chaos, focused in distraction, disciplined in emotional storms. You can become somebody whose peace is no longer controlled by random people and temporary situations. That is real power. If you made it to the end of this journey, understand something clearly. Most people will never develop this level of self-awareness. Most people will continue living emotionally reactive lives forever. But you are choosing a different path, a path of discipline, a path of silence, a path of self-mastery. So before you leave, subscribe and become part of a community dedicated to building unshakable minds. Share this video with somebody drowning in negativity and emotional chaos, and leave this final declaration in the comments below. My peace is protected. My mind is untouchable. Stay disciplined, guard your energy, and never hand your peace to people who have not earned it.